Hello, everyone. Welcome to bonus content. I'm Roman Mars, and this is 99% Invisible. That was like my most Roman Mars voice. Hey, everybody. It's me, Alex. I'm here. Nobshin's here. Scott's here. Tony's out this week. He's had a rough week. He's taking the night off. He sends his love, though. And we don't have an editor this week because they're all playing video games they can't talk about yet. So we're just going to keep it laid back, keep it chill. Plus, we're recording like 2.5 hours early, which is so nice. Let's bonus it up. Let's content hashtag bonus. What was going on last week, Scott? You got a story for me?
Not a big story, but it's going to be something that you're going to want to ask questions for.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So last week we were celebrating my brother's birthday.
Nice. Which one?
Older.
Okay, Will's birthday. Got it.
Yeah, Will's birthday. So on that same day, he got a puppy.
Aw. This is the best news.
Yeah, so around, I think it was an hour, maybe even 30 minutes before we were going to start to record, he got here with the puppy.
Oh, okay.
And then I just kind of know how that goes. We are going to play with the puppy for about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We are then going to eat, play with the puppy some more, and then do cake.
Okay.
And then you were all in, like, this is according to normal podcast time.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I'll be in for the end, but then you guys recorded early.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I'm probably just not going to make it.
Yeah, I get you.
And because lo and behold, by the time we were done doing everything, I probably could have stopped in for bonus content and dipped.
Yeah. But it's all right. You were hanging out
But
with a
at that
puppy.
time, I think the show started proper maybe 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I had been there for 10 minutes. And then I'd have dipped.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have known like when I had to go.
Oh, speaking of which, we can record our own audio again this week.
Yeah.
Yay.
I mean, can.
Do you not want to? I mean, listen. I want to get back in the habit of doing it. Just so that way we don't forget. What kind of puppy? I got lots of questions.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So he is a French bulldog.
Aw. Do you have pictures?
Personally, I do not. And he was just over here.
Mm-hmm.
And he just left.
French bulldog puppies are very cute.
Yep.
How cute is the puppy?
He's so cute that he bites everything.
Aw. Maximum adorable. What's his name?
I think we decided, or Will decided on his name about 2 days ago.
Okay.
Which is Benson.
Benson is perfect. I was thinking Baxter, and I feel like Benson is in the same category, the same tier as that. Not just because it's a B name, but it's it's a fun name. I'm in. I miss having a pet. I've lived without one for like 8 months, and it's been the worst. As I told Damien, one of my current roommates, that as soon as him and I move out and just live in an apartment together, which will be next May, that we're getting a cat. I've decided. I don't care what he says. We're getting a cat. What kind of cat? We'll figure it out. We'll get there. But I need a kitten in my life again, or a puppy. But dogs are harder to take care of. Cool. How was the birthday party? How was the shindig?
It was mostly playing with the dog.
That's pretty good, actually.
So yeah, because Will works 8 hours a day and would essentially have to leave the puppy alone, he was on vacation this week.
Uh-huh.
So the party itself, pretty uneventful. But what happened during the week was he essentially brought him over every day of the week because, except for Saturday and Sunday, starting Monday, that's just going to be his schedule Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting him used to Chester.
Yeah, that's a good call. Is Chester? I feel like I haven't heard Chester screaming in the background of an episode in a while. Is he still chill?
I don't know chill is the best way to put it, but generally it's because we don't do the midday recordings.
Yeah.
So when we don't do those midday recordings, everybody's still here, and he's not freaking out that everybody's gone.
Yeah, got it. That's good. Hang in there, Chester. You'll get through this. Question for you, Nabishin, because you've been gone for like 6 years. Were you here when I talked about my diet?
I think I overheard it when I was rewatching the show, but like, that's about it.
Have you ever
Just
gone
like the food you've been eating. I think that's the only thing. I don't know if you've been working out or anything like that.
No exercise. It's 100% dietary change currently. I mean, I get a lot of activity in throughout my workday, but I haven't necessarily started exercising. Have you ever
You
dieted?
haven't gone back to yoga or anything like that?
No, I want to. I'm very tired day to day
Sure.
nowadays. And I don't know if it's like chronic fatigue catching up with me or, whatever, but I would like to at some point get back into the swing of things. I just it's hard. It's hard for me. But that's why I wanted to change. I wanted to lose weight, and I don't trust myself to regularly exercise, so that's why I went with the diet. I mean, I've lost 30 pounds since March, which is pretty great. I'm very happy with it. I think probably by the end of the month, I will be below 200 pounds for the first time since I was like 20, which is very nice. A generally exciting time. Have you ever dieted before, Nabishin?
No, I've never really needed to.
Mm-hmm.
No. I always eat the same. Like if I feel like I'm, getting too big or just if I'm unsatisfied with the way I look, I just like work out while still eating the same. Like I don't really change what I eat too much because I don't really eat that much to begin with. So
Yeah, you're a quiet eater, I would say too. Like you very quietly eat your meal and then you're done with it. Like I very rarely see you eating, even in event times. So yeah, I get that. But yeah, that's good. What kind of workouts do you do?
the standard stuff. Like my job is very active, so usually I don't need to work out. But like all my jobs have been active, so like that's usually my quote unquote workout. But like the extra stuff is like standard push ups and sit ups. Like right now, actually, like I've been down satisfied with my chest, my pectoral muscles. Like I've never really had a chest. I always had like a solid like people say it's a bird chest, I guess you could say, because like it's just completely flat. It's always been flat. So I want man boobs. So I'm working on that a little bit. I guess
Hell yeah, get those push-ups in.
So that's all I can really do. So I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would say like too, because like you have probably so much muscle mass from your job now too. Like stuff like yoga that is more about like toning and whatnot might help convert some of those flatter areas into like more defined muscular areas. And then Nicole in our chat says, "Look, Nabishin, when you go from being able to do a muscle up to not being able to do one, then you realize you need to lose weight. Don't judge me." I'm really excited because I don't know if you've been listening to every show, but Tony's mentioned that because of his new job, which obviously you're very familiar with. I think he mentioned he had lost 40 pounds, which is wild. And that was like 4 weeks, or not 4 weeks ago, but like 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So I haven't seen Tony since he started his new job, mostly because he virtually has zero time now. But yeah, I'm excited to see just what. Have you seen what Tony has? Does Tony look any different, Scott? Do you know physically?
I haven't seen him for I think the last time I think I physically saw him was the last time you did the barbecue.
Yeah, the barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he rolls up and like pretty much looks like Chris Hemsworth.
Dude, that'd be so awesome. That's what I really want that to happen, because I think I made the joke of like I want a segment during Extra Life just to be an hour of you and Nomishin flexing. Just do a live action recreation of the post for the fans Rhythm Heaven bit.
Sure.
Just a bunch of oily men muscle posing. That'd be funny. Yeah.
I guess I'll have to join in on that.
Yeah, dude, Scott, let's you and me, let's all get jacked and let's all just start flexing. Yeah, no, I'm excited just to see how much weight Tony's lost. But yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I didn't know if we hadn't talked about it yet, Namishin, but Scott was on keto. Is that right? Keto?
Yeah, and that was for something completely different.
Yeah, that was for like a medical reason, but like you were doing that kind of more specific diet, and then I started my more general diet. So we had talked about it. So I was just curious. It's wild. Dieting is weird, and like I found like the last 2 mornings I've been waking up with stomach aches because like I'll have like a cheat meal here or there, and anytime I eat like bad food, it like just makes my body hurt now. It's kind of a bummer. And I'm just like less hungry.
Now you understand my disdain towards Taco Bell and McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. I still love it, but every time I eat it, it makes my body hurt. But yeah, I definitely like, I don't know. I eat less now. I'm not as hungry, just baseline. So I eat smaller portions because like I've trained my body to do that now, and it's weird. It's a weird time that we live in. I don't know if anybody in the chat has any questions, but I think that's all we got for bonus content. We can I want to like I'm excited to talk about some video games. Some stuff I'm gonna have to actually let me reference email to see what I can talk about in regards to one thing, and then we can get started. Do you guys have anything that happened this week? Anything crazy?
Crazy? No,
just relax, just having a good time.
Reading I with a couple of friends I ain't seen in a while, and then it's like, oh, why don't I hang out with you? And it's like, oh, that's the reason why, type of thing.
Very good. Was it like a legitimate reason, or was it just like, oh, I just hadn't heard from you?
No, it was like it was one of those things where like she became a mother, and like that's really been her time then. And then it's like when we started hanging out again, it was like well, it was more like I was thinking of my friend Tony, and then like she called. It's like, hey, can I get a ride? And it's like, yeah, where are you? And all in Williamsburg. And like, did you just do it now? Because I don't have any ride home. So I was like, oh, that's right. This is your MO every time we hang out. Not that it's bad. Like it's good to talk and chat and stuff like that. But it's like anytime I chat with her, it's always like a kind of like a one-way conversation. It's never like, how are you? It's always about like her and her drama and her needs. And I'm here for her for that. That's how we became friends, I guess you would say. But it's like a very one-sided type of thing. So it's not, like I'm there for her anytime she wants to talk and wants someone to be there, but like I'm never like actually like texting her like, hey, what are you doing type of thing. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends like that. I feel like my like in-person friends are more like that. And then my online friends are always like, what have you been up to? And it's like, nothing, dude. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I do a podcast on the internet every week, and that's where I talk about literally everything that I do, which is play video games and go to work. So I'm not a crazy interesting person. Oh, I on Sunday I went to High Rock, which is a place in Maryland. With my friend Damien. It's a place he really loves. It's up on top of a mountain, and it's like this big outcropping of this big like naturally forming rock. That when you look out, you can see just everything, like miles in every direction, and you can actually see Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Maryland from the top of the rock. I realized when I got there how not okay I was with how high up it was, and I felt really bad because like he loves that place and he loves to look up, but like I got so just unsettled just by being up there. But it was really fun. I was like, it meant a lot to him that I went up there with him, and it was beautiful. I'll say that much. And we took dumb selfies there. So I did a thing this week, which is good. I got out of the house at least once. But yeah, I just don't do much week to week. I'm a mellow person. I like to keep it at home, cozy, under a blanket, and with a fan just on somewhere, nice and cold. Let's
Have you seen Hobbs and Shaw yet?
I haven't, dude. I haven't, like, I've missed so many movies that I wanted to see this year because I just haven't had time. Like, I didn't see Aladdin. I didn't see Lion King. I didn't see Hobbs and Shaw. I like almost didn't see Spider-Man. Thank God I went and saw it though. 'Cause I loved it. I haven't. I mentioned Hobbs and Shaw. There's one. I didn't see Godzilla King of Monsters either. I don't care what people say about it. I wanted to see that. And the bummer thing about that is I wanted to see it in IMAX. I waited 2 weeks. It was already at IMAX. It's done. I was like, can I see it in like the Dolby theater, like the cool sound one? I was like, no, it's out of that too. If you don't want to see Aladdin in IMAX, I guess get fucked, you know.
Right.
But yeah, did you see Hobbs and Shaw?
I did.
What did you
I saw
think?
it when I was in Vegas. It was real fun. But like
It looks so
kinda,
fun.
yeah, but it's also kind of telling. Whereas like like that movie kind of came and went more than like most Fast and Furious movies. Like because like most people talk about like the stunts and stuff like that. Like, oh, do you remember this? Remember that? Remember this? Like and that's like the talk of the town for a while. But like Hobbs and Shaw, like though there was really great stunts and like I've always loved obviously the Rock, but like Jason Statham, like
Jason Statham's always been your boy. Yeah.
yeah, like he's always been like one of my favorite action stars, and like he was great in this movie too. Um, but it was like though as much as I enjoyed it, like it does seem like a very very forgettable movie at the same time. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was stupid as hell.
Hell yeah.
But stupid in a really good way. Yeah, that's pretty much all.
I want to watch it at home on like HBO Go. You know, like I feel like that's my preferred Hobbs and Shaw viewing experience. So I will see it eventually. I just I'm so late. It's both that I'm so lazy and I'm also so tired all the time that like going over to the movie theater like up the street is woe is me. You know how it goes.
I mean, like I'm somewhat the same way right now too. Like I don't really play video games anymore. I just like kind of just browse YouTube for an entire day, and like that's my fucking day. When I'm off work and I'm tired, I don't feel like going anywhere. Like
Yeah.
I've been in a like yeah, I don't know workplace lately, but you know whatever.
Yeah, I get you. Trust me, dude. Maybe I'm probably in a worse place. I would say like my job is killing me for sure, but I do feel you. Yeah. Let's talk about video games. You guys want to get your audacities ready?
Yeah, it's ready.
Hell yeah, mine isn't. I did not think about this fast enough. All right. Hey everybody, this is a microphone check. Video games are fun. Hey everybody, this is a microphone. We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
All right. Now, Machine, you ready?
Oh, hold on.
You're good.
It's not in my usual shortcut where it used to be. Because usually I just press start.
And
then
Windows
it's like,
update,
it's
dude.
right there. Yeah.
Fucked you up.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. On 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh, I have so many things I get to talk about this week. Strap in, everybody in chat. We're about to get wet and wild.
Real quick, did you want to listen to your audio just in case you just want to make sure?
I just did an audio check and listen back to it.
Oh, okay.
I hope you guys would notice, but I guess it's usually like it always does the same thing. It pitches me up for whatever reason, but I don't know why. I'm gonna.
Sometimes it's rough, man.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't want it doesn't want to work. And the thing, at least I know how to fix it now. I just flip the power on the mixer, and I flip it back on. I think it's just like a power thing. It's like spending not enough or too much power into the mic, and that's why it sounds weird. All right, I gotta turn that off. Turn that back on. There we go. Slightly less laggy. All right, I'll settle. Strap in, chat. Is it a microphone test? And are games actually fun? I don't know, Justin. You tell me. It is Saturday, August 24th, 2019, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I'm Alex O'Neill, your podcasting host for this podcast that we are listening or recording to together. And joining me this week, we have Mr. Scott Guthier.
Hello.
And Mr. Brian Nobishin Jackson.
Chicken or rice? Or rice chicken? Or rice?
Chicken or rice? You know we're trying to revive Master Shake, right? Oh, yes. A rice chicken.
Dude, I had no idea you were an Aqua Teen.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I love to, like, that's a great episode and that's a great bit. But I love how much Danny references it on Game Grumps. It makes me laugh every time because I love that episode. Oh, yeah. I think they brought Aqua Teen Hunger Force back at some point for like extra seasons, which I feel like they did with every Adult Swim show.
Sure.
Even like shows that got big because of Adult Swim, like Family Guy. And I didn't watch like the new stuff, but I did watch the original stuff.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I don't know why, man, but that show's so dumb, but I loved it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the last thing I remember even watching of Aqua Teen Hunger Force was like the movie. Like I saw that in theaters.
I didn't see the movie. I've never seen it.
It's worth it, I think.
Okay. I would love a little bit of closure for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was like the Family Guy movie was that for me. Even though it just turned out to be like they turned that into like 4 episodes or whatever. But anyway, Nobishin interests aside. Hey everybody, welcome to Irrational Passions podcast. Go watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force if you haven't already. It's a video games podcast. We're going to talk about some video games. We don't have our fourth Tony is not here. He had a bit of a rough week, so he's taking the night off. If you want to send
instead, you have your third Tony.
You what? Who's the third Tony?
Well, we're missing the fourth one.
Yeah,
we never really knew what happened to 1 and 2.
Yeah,
we got your third.
Yeah, we got a third Tony. His name is Scott Guthier. But if you want to send Tony at Tony Horvath on Twitter some love, I'm sure he would really appreciate it. Just send him a picture of Aurelian Soul. Just Google image search Aurelian Soul, and you'll get there. But we still got a good show. No editors this week. We're gonna have some fun games that we're gonna be able to talk about with them in the coming weeks that they've been reviewing, and you'll be able to see stuff for on irrationalpassions.com soon. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, if you go to irrationalpassions.com, there's still plenty of cool stuff up there. First and foremost, finally announced RPGU. Which is RPG University, which is Scott White is starting another goddamn podcast on irrationalpassions.com. It's a different kind of podcast, and I think I wouldn't necessarily trust anybody but Scott with something like this. He's going to be basically talking about a different RPG, massive RPG per episode, and he's going to be sitting down with a different co-host every episode. RPG University should hopefully be on podcast services all over the map by the time you hear this in audio form. But if it's not, it will be soon. First episode, I believe, is posting next week. So it's going to be... First episode is Scott and I talking about Tales of Vesperia, some of our favorite parts of it, some of our favorite monsters in it, some of our favorite moments, and kind of why we both love it so much. And he's going to be not necessarily talking about RPGs he knows, in for all these episodes, but basically bringing on guests every episode to talk about them. It's going to be a bi-weekly podcast, so every other week. And it's going to release on the week that Video Game Book Club, the other show that Scott White hosts, every other, like the week that doesn't release on. So, just a podcast, no video or anything for that. It's just that show. But Scott White's other show, Video Game Book Club, they finally finished Sonic 06, which I love that they got to the end and like the game broke for 2 out of the 3 of them, so they just watched the ending together. Which is great. So that's what the final episode of Book Club is. The next game we're playing is Vanquished, which was Jarrett's pick. Very excited about that. I won't be on it, but I might play along with them because I've never finished Vanquish. And I'd like to. I like to be in a robot suit and smoke cigarettes.
That's probably 1 episode then, right?
They're aiming
Maybe
for
2.
I think, because it's like 6-7 hours long, right? Usually
No,
like
the game's like maybe 4 or 5 hours long.
okay. They talked about maybe doing 1. I think they're gonna do a 2-parter. Because we try and like cut off 4 hours as like the limit for a session of book club. Just so you can get through it in 2 weeks with other things that you're doing. Also on irrationalpatch.com, new episode of Input, talking about the Game Informer layoffs. If you would like to hear about that. Very heart goes out to everyone who was at Game Informer that's no longer there as of this week. Some incredibly talented folks out in the ether now. It's a real bummer. And this week's
crazy how that site changed their image. It's pretty much since Jason left.
Yeah, dude.
Like it became more of like a Polygon or something like that. It's like having actual opinions and stuff like that. It's crazy how it grew up.
Yeah, it grew up in a great way. Like Imran is joining the kind of funny folks, which is great. And they talked about, like Greg mentioned on the episode where they announced that of Kind of Funny Games Daily, like how much he loved the Game Informer, like our take part of their news reporting, and that's totally a thing that I love too. Like I would always, if I was gonna check Game Informer for news, it was always like the thing I wanted was like, how does this kind of affect things as a whole? And I thought they always had, each editor had a great way to give perspective in their reporting with the our take section. It's a great idea, and I love what they did there. But yeah, they talked about that on inputs. We probably won't really get into it here, but like I said, heart goes out to all of them. If you are someone who is in the position to give these folks work, I highly encourage it. Second episode of Call of Duty in Review is up, where we talked about World at War. That game's bad. And I will say that here. And if you want to hear Logan and I lose our fucking minds, you can go listen to that podcast. So Call of Duty in Review still trucking along. I really like that show. I hope people. We've got a lot of good, like, word back from the folks listening to it that have really, really liked it, and I'm really happy people are enjoying it. If you haven't listened already, definitely give it a look-see. That's really it for this week, but we got a lot of stuff coming up in the coming weeks. A lot of reviews and videos and whatnot. So let's get out of housekeeping and get on to it. Video games. You guys playing any video games? Scott, are you playing any video games?
So nothing too new.
Okay.
I went back some time.
Okay.
Played some Binding of Isaac because my internet went out.
Shit. Whatever's available, right?
Right.
How was it? Was it weird going back?
A little bit, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could still kind of play.
Okay.
And the thing that was weird about it is I hadn't restarted in so long, and there was no save left to go back to.
Mm-hmm. That sucks. So you were starting fresh. When you like do a fresh run, do you do like one of the challenge runs, or do you typically just do?
So the first thing I do when I do a fresh run is I try to unlock as many challenge runs as I can, which means you just go in. When you start off, it's pretty easy to get a bunch of extra health.
Mm-hmm.
So, Maggie becomes real easy. You go into the gambling thing so you can pick up Kane.
Yeah.
Once you have, once you just have characters, then you can get off of Isaac until you get your thing again.
Yeah.
Until you get your die again.
Yeah, and I know you love that goddamn die.
It's essentially the best item in the game because it allows you to take most runs and just re-roll until your RNG isn't terrible anymore.
Yeah. Is that a mechanic they added in? I'm trying to think what like the expansion one was called.
Isaac becoming the best character after you get the unlock the die for him was always the thing.
Okay. It's been a while because I never played like I think was it called Afterbirth? Was that a thing? I just didn't want to say it and be wrong.
It's Rebirth with the DLC being Afterbirth.
Got it. Yeah. I never played Rebirth and I never played Afterbirth. So like those additions I never got to see. I think I just played whatever the first expansion was, to vanilla Binding of Isaac. So, I've always like it's on Switch. That's a game that I'd love to go back to. That's a good. My internet is out and I don't have anything else to play because that's my Spelunky for sure. So I respect. Did you beat it? Did you make any? Good runs?
Yeah, I was able to get a couple of runs in.
Okay, cool. Is that all you played?
Pretty much.
Okay. Same old. Binding of Isaac plus League of Legends and Black Desert Online.
Yeah, because later tonight the whole Clash tournament type thing starts.
Clash?
So there's been, yeah. So it's Clash is essentially a public tournament. When I say public, I mean if you have a League of Legends account, you're level 30, and you've placed and ranked, you are allowed to join.
Okay.
So, yeah, public.
Yeah, that's basically open to everybody. I don't have a League of Legends account at level 30, so I can't do that, but I also would never be caught dead. No, I'm just kidding. I would never, ever play League of Legends.
I also wouldn't pick you to be on my team, so there's that too.
Damn. It's all right. No one would pick me to be on their team, Scott. You've seen me play League of Legends. Okay. Is that what Tony's getting ready for? He texted us and said, "I'm going to listen to heavy metal and play League of Legends." So I assume that's what he's.
I think it's more or less that he's just wasn't feeling a podcast.
Yeah, it's tough. I get it. It's you have to put a certain amount of yourself into this show, or at least I hope you do. That's what I'm praying for. And heavy metal is just good. It's just a good set dressing for any League of Legends play. Cool. I wish you luck in this Clash tournament. Do you think you're gonna place? Make it to the top ranks? Winners bracket only?
I really don't know.
I was ready to just keep saying different things
that
you might say about a tournament.
That's why I said something. That's what I said. That's why I said something.
Fox on.
Exactly. Sonic Fox, your way to the top. All right. What about you, Nabishin? Video games.
Nothing much. Nothing really new.
You got the platinum trophy for Samurai Showdown.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
That wasn't really much of anything.
Was it? Is that hard though?
No, not really, because I did most of it when I first got the game because I played through it so much, and like the first pool, the first week I had it, I was playing it a lot, and so I already did most of it, and after that it was just being in the arcade mode with just everybody, and that's oh, okay, I could just do that real quickly, and I did.
How many characters are in that game?
Over not 20, just under 20, I would say.
Okay, that sounds fun though. I always imagine getting a platinum trophy in a fighting game is basically impossible because Street Fighter has ruined everything for all fighting games, I think. But I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be unreasonable.
Like the hardest one as far as a fighting game getting the platinum for was probably the original Blaze Blue for me.
Oh yeah, Blaze Blue trophies are fucking stupid. I've only played one of those games, and I know.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I was so dedicated to that game. I loved that game at the time.
Did you get it?
Yeah, that's the one. Well, like I had like the for fighting games I have for Blaze Blue, I have it for uh Tekken 7, which is like easy. That's a super
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
And like Samurai Showdown. So but
That's
yeah,
good spread.
Blaze Blue is probably like one of the hardest trophies, platinum trophies I've ever gotten.
Was it a lot of like pulling off technical moves, or was it just time?
It was time because there were online matches I had to do.
Those are the worst.
I think it was like maybe like 200 online matches I had to do, and maybe like 100 wins, something along those lines. Back then, because like that was like peak trophy war days. Like I had like a friend online where it's just like we never talked to each other like about anything else. He's like, hey, I'm trying to like get like 500 matches with Street Fighter. You mind just like going online and just like hitting X a bunch of times so like I can get a win? And like yeah, and like that was literally a friend I had online. And we did that because like I think that's how I got like my 500 matches in Street Fighter trophy. Because definitely that's how.
The first time I ever talked to Joseph Fate was when we did the what was it, Scrub League? Was that what it was called?
Scrub Sport.
Scrub Sport. Thank you. Scrub Sport tournament for Super Street Fighter 4. And Joe was very sweet. He said that he liked Irrational Passions podcast. That was before he was a host on it. He whooped my ass, just in case anyone was wondering or worried. That is like Joe is the most online fighting game friend that I have. That's as close as I got. Do you remember this friend's name?
What? Who? What?
Your fighting game friend? Do you remember the
name? I don't think so. I'm thinking about because like, there's one who was with Junta 700. That was one. It wasn't him. It was somebody else. Because like I believe I deleted him like a long time ago.
Shout out Junta. I remember you. Game recognized game.
But I know it wasn't him. Like it was somebody else. But I can't think of it off the top of my head right
now. Okay. I was just curious because like I get like super nostalgic. As you know, I would just like boot up Street Fighter 5 and be like sending them a sad message like, "Hey man, I'm jumping into Street Fighter. You wanna maybe for old time's sake?" Like that's totally my move. So I didn't know if it was somebody that you would still play with. I gotta get those trophies somehow. It was, I think there's a trophy in Street Fighter 4 or 5, one of the two. It's like win 10 ranked matches in a row or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit. You got that?
From that way, yes. Like it's funny since we're talking about fighting games. It's like I'm at the point now with fighting games where for multiple reasons, obviously, because I'm me, but like I just don't play them online because like not only because like I don't play online, it's more of like lag is an issue for me. Lag has been like an issue for fighting games forever, but now it's like at the point where it's like I just can't even like even try to deal with this. Like it's just like just the latency just really just gets to me now. Like the only good one, like the only like legitimately good one is like probably Killer Instinct. As far as like online gameplay, that's because that was what built in with GGPO and stuff like that. But like like even like a little bit of latency, just like it bugs me to all in. So like I only play like locally, and I haven't done locally in forever. So there's that.
Yeah, no, that's a good chunk of the reason why I got out fighting games.
Yeah,
because that moved almost entirely to online, and it's the little bit of latency doesn't bother me as much, but it's when you start frame skipping, when you start doing the slight freezes.
Yeah, the slight freezes. Yeah,
that kicks me out of an entire match.
I mean, because I remember like when Brawl was out, like I would just jump in there just because like I didn't care about the latency and stuff like that. But now it's like I I played Ultimate online once, and that was with you, Alex. You and I think Sigma, Justin,
Oh
maybe. I don't
yeah,
know.
I feel like
But like
we might have gotten like a Joseph Fate in there as well.
yeah, that was like the only time I played Ultimate online, and I haven't touched it since because like I already know Nintendo's online is bad, and like for even for a fighting game, I was like, no, that's like I cannot even deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I've like
that one's a bit different because it's much better.
I've like I
As I want to say it has a bit higher latency than most other fighting games, just as a baseline.
mhm.
But really, it's so long as the other person doesn't have a terrible connection, neither do you. Which it's rarely the case that
Mm-hmm.
you'll find that kind of person.
A good person.
In terms of going on to a in terms of getting into fields and it being like a huge problem. It's always whenever I ran into it, it was always, oh, this is actually just me. I went too far away from the Wi-Fi point.
Yeah. I I've had nothing but really good experiences with Smash Bros online, honestly. Like I've had some lag and some really laggy matches, but like for the most part, I've had a relatively smooth ride with a minimum amount of latency. I don't know if it bothers me as much though cuz I just don't care as much in regards to fighting games. I would say I would care the most for Smash, and it's definitely best local. But I don't know. It is never it's never hurt me too bad. Um, and I'm just bummed out you can't do stuff like 8 player or something online because I think that would be so fun, but it'd be so broken. And I recognize that. Have you played anything outside of Samurai Showdown?
Um, Erica, how about
Oh
that?
yeah, you played this.
It's only
Uh,
$10.
this is the thriller, the interactive thriller, right?
Yes, the all FMV video game, which is like pretty much make choices and it has like realistic photographic imagery when like they do like your touch stuff. Like if you try like the light a match or something like that, you'll have like a little shiny on it, and you just use your phone to like move back and forth to like kind of like flick open the lighter, I should say, not a match. So that's how you interact with the world, and like your questions, your choices, I should say. They're on the screen, and like you just got your finger with your phone, and pick your choices from there. Um, like I would say, like for Erica in particular, I think it's worth the $10 just for the experience. I think it's worth it for that. Um, I just think it has the story overall, like it just like completely lost me by the end of it. Like I don't think that it's the best story.
Okay.
But it was like what, maybe like two, yeah, it was definitely 2 hours of me playing it, and like I enjoyed my 2 hours of playing it. Just like how I got through it. Um, it is just a matter of just it's just I think like I said, definitely the story for me personally was like the lowest part of it, just because some decision making as far as kind of how you interact with the game. Even it's like I'm thinking like this leads to one way, it doesn't actually lead that way, and I think I'm going back into a room. I'm not going back to a room. I'm actually progressing through the story. Um, that wasn't particularly clear, and because like it was like a weird flow with that story, because like you go from you not completely understanding it, then like you're still not understanding it, but you're really getting into it because the weirdness is starting to happen, and you just want to know what happens next, and then like by the end of it, it's just like you have no idea what was going on, like like it presented me choices at the end of it, like where like I just didn't like understand like where this was coming from. So it was
Yeah.
I guess it's just the way I did my choices. Like I got too flip floppy, I guess, with some of my end choices, and
Gotta
like
commit, Nabishin.
and like by the end of it, like I got a good ending. Was it the best ending? Probably not. But like two of my friends survived. I shot a bunch of people.
Nice.
And like the two people I cared about, I guess you could say, got to the end. One of the girls died, unfortunately, because like I had like almost no interactions with her. I guess I did some perfume with her, but like whatever. But yeah, like I think it's worth the $10 just like to see like, oh, this is cool type of thing. But like I don't think it'll blow your mind or anything like that.
I feel like they could be fun to like play with your friends maybe or something like that.
I mean, it's completely one player, so like that's the
yeah,
only
but
one
like
issue,
to get a
but...
group of friends together and play it, I think I have some of the most fun. Like, obviously, like Until Dawn, things like that, where you get a group of people to do stuff like that and make choices and yell. Everyone's screaming, "Do go left!" I think that's fun. And my roommates in particular are like not super into games, but they like those kind of interactive stories. Did you watch Bandersnatch, the Netflix thing option?
No, I didn't.
It sucks, so don't bother. But it's it is in a way it's like those ideas, right? It's you're kind of given these binary choices, and I don't know if they're all binary choices in Erica, but it is like leading you down to these different endings, and it was something Netflix did, but I don't think it worked. It was a similar thing in that where like none of the endings I thought were like particularly good, like satisfying in any way, and I think I got what I would consider as like the most satisfying ending narratively, and it was like just a real bummer. But I don't know, like that got a little weird. Like you could in Bandersnatch, you can like tell the person, the character that you're communicating with, that you're communicating them to them through a video streaming application called Netflix, and that freaks them out. And then at some point, it like leads back into like seeing Netflix HQ and like the perspective of this person who works at Netflix or something. Like I don't know, it gets a little weird, but. Yeah, it makes me curious about Erica. I feel like there's a lot of room there to grow and learn. Speaking of bad ending situations, and I mentioned this just because of you mentioning this ending that you got. My brother Derek texted me this week, maybe the saddest thing that you could ever receive, and that was, "Aw, damn! I think I got the bad ending of The Witcher 3." And I was like, no, the one where he goes into the woods alone. And he said, yeah. And I'm like, no, it's the worst ending. So that happened this week. I don't know if I've ever actually met somebody who got the bad ending of that game. That's a real bummer.
I don't think I've ever seen. Like the only other ending I've actually seen in like
is like the true ending, which is
no the air quote scene where like Siri goes to back to her father, but like that's the only other thing I've seen, like because like it's weird with that game where it's like I kind of don't care about the other endings because like my ending is a good ending. And
yeah, we get the same ending,
really good.
And I'm totally with you. And like there's also, to be fair, like all the different permutations of like the other character endings. So just like Geralt's main ending that you get is gonna kind of depend on what happens to Ciri. But yeah, it's a real bummer. just so you know. But yeah, that I found out this week. Anything else, Namshin?
Nothing really. Like I like pretty much since Ziva, like the only other things I've just been playing, just like this random fighting games, just back and forth, just playing just to have fun. And it's like if I'm not playing them, I'm just watching them on YouTube. That's like actually usually what I've been doing. I've been watching a lot of HOC and like a lot of Maximilian. Just watching. Just like I enjoy it so much. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Cool. I played some video games. I can talk.
Real quick. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I just remember I played a shitload of the Fire. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just saw Fire Force on my screen. I played a lot of Dragon Quest 11, the demo. That demo's meaty. It's like 10 hours long.
Yeah, for the Switch version, right?
Yeah. So
the demo's 10
I'm trying to get my. Oh yeah, it's like it's almost 10 hours. I was it's like I'm like 6 hours in my gameplay.
Jeez.
Um,
Is it just the first
it,
10 hours of the game?
I mean, like it's up to where you get to your fourth party member. You get your third and fourth party member at the same time. So like from what I hear, so like uh yeah, like I'm just playing that so I could get because I could transfer my Saber when the main game comes out because like I'm really ready to go back to that game again. I feel like I'm ready for that.
Awesome.
Because it's interesting. It's like I've been feeding for Persona 5 for so bad, and like
I know they
that's
just
that's that's kind of the reason why I think I've been like on somewhat of a regular because like Kingdom Hearts fucked me up, and
Yep.
I can't go back to those games for a while for some reason. I don't know why.
It's a lot.
I think
I
about it,
mean,
but I can't.
it's like Endgame, you know. It was like such a good ending. You know, we got what
Yeah.
we wanted. We waited years for it. I get it.
I mean, you're right, especially for me, and yeah, I've been really wanting to play Persona 5, like Persona
I
4,
broke,
something.
so you know how this went for me.
Oh yeah. And like I didn't want to start Persona 4 because like if I want to play, I want to commit to it. I don't want to do this half-ass thing.
Yeah.
So like I think Dragon Quest is like really speaking to me now because it'll be Dragon Quest, and then like, almost immediately by the time I finish that, it'll be Final Fantasy 7, and then after that, it'll be Persona 5 again. So
Yeah.
that'll be a very
It's gonna be
time
good
for me.
JRPG times for Brian Albertson Jackson. That's cool. So for you, having played Dragon Quest 11 before, have you seen a lot of differences with the Definitive Edition S demo on Switch?
Mostly it's the music. Like honestly, like at first, like when I first played it for like the first like maybe like 10 minutes, like I don't even see why people keep complaining about the music. Like it sounds exactly the same. And then like when it really starts swelling and gets really into like oh yeah, this is like a world of difference between
That's good to hear.
the MIDI music from the PS4 version.
Yeah.
Like I didn't
wasn't
because the MIDI
bad.
music was still good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because like
not the same. I get
but I
it.
didn't understand why people were like it was like literally like a big minus for a lot of people that the music wasn't orchestral or actually like they did anything with the music. So like when they actually did it for the Switch version, like oh yeah, like this it's really not necessarily changes the game, but like it makes you feel like I always feel like Dragon Quest 11 is like a really jolly game for me. It makes me feel good. It makes me playing it and like visually it looks great on Switch too. Like I like it was like it's like when because like the PS4 version is like 1440 and like the Switch version is like maybe 720 I think
720 on handheld for sure, but I don't know what it is docked.
Yeah, because like I can see a lot of aliasing and stuff like that. So like so that's noticeable because I'm noticed that because like I could tell them, but like visually it's like that's out of my mind because like when I play that game it's like it's still like really fun and really good. But that's the major improvement for me is that like there's other things like the Japanese I could switch to Japanese. I'd stick with English because I still like those voices and those characters and I haven't finished the main game so I wanted to do it that way. I could like increase the speed for it, but I don't want to. I'm enjoying it the way it is. Cool. Yeah, that game's. I'm very excited to go back to that game in about a month. So
yeah. I'm curious. Like I played the first hour on PS4, and then like immediately after they announced the definitive edition, it's like, all right, well, I guess time to pack you up. So I might, I guess I could try the demo now and see if it clicks with me. So. I've always been curious about Dragon Quest, as you know. So, hearing your kind of positive thoughts on it really makes me want to jump in. I played some video games. I can talk about it. I can't give kind of like my full thoughts. But I do want to talk a little bit about Creature in the Well, which is an indie game. I actually played it at PAX East this year. It was one of my favorite games I saw at PAX East. I think the genre term that they came up with for it is pin brawler, because it's like a pinball brawler. The idea for Creature in the Well, like mechanically, it's like kind of a top-down dungeon crawler to some extent, very Zelda-like in how it you're going from screen to screen pretty much, and you have like an obstacle or a challenge to do in that screen. Only the gameplay is you have two weapons. You have an energy weapon and then like a bashing weapon or a knockback weapon. And you're using the energy weapon to collect like little balls of light in front of you and charge them up and then knock them at targets. And the targets are like bumpers or like walls or whatever things you would see on like a pinball table. And they bounce around and make pinball noises. So it's you. The reason you're doing that is like you are when you knock your energy off the bumpers and whatnot, you're getting energy like that you can then use to power up the dungeon, power up that area. And you accrue more and more energy as you kind of go through the dungeon, and you'll use that to open doors or charge up the machine. And if you complete every room in one section of this giant machine that you're working through, you'll like fully power up that part of the machine. Which I don't know if you had to, but as I played it, that's what I've just kind of naturally been doing. And in some rooms, you can like charge up all of the bumpers, and it'll open like a secret door, or something like that, which is cool. It's a really cool idea. Like I like the kind of top down Zelda feel mixed with this pinball aspect. There are things that I wish were better about it. Like sometimes it's kind of hard to eyeball your shot. But like mechanically, I think it just feels great. It is always satisfying to charge and then shoot off your energy, and you can kind of get different tools along the way that will make certain, like if you're struggling with one kind of aspect of the game, I think there is a tool for you. Like if you are struggling with survivability, there's like a bashing weapon that will, when your energy hits one of the bumpers, it'll charge all the bumpers around it like a chain lightning, which is really cool. So it's like, okay, I can get through these areas faster. And there's like one energy weapon that will give you like a red dot line to show you where you're about to hit the ball. So that way, if you're having trouble aiming, you can like, okay, I can use this tool and it'll be better for me. It'll be easier for me. But full thoughts on that soon, probably in a couple weeks. But I've been playing a lot of that. It's probably what I've been playing the most of this week outside of Dark Souls 2, which I've also been playing with good boy Justin Graffius, who's actually watching us right now live. Shout out to Justin. I really like Dark Souls 2. It's one of those things, man. Like, I think maybe in my head I just kind of blew the problems that I do have with it just out of proportion, right? But because like when I played Dark Souls 2, I liked it a lot. And then kind of like as I got more and more away from it, I just remember being frustrated about certain parts of it. And I would say like when I get frustrated in Dark Souls 2, I feel like I'm getting more frustrated than I did in the first one since I just finished that. It's like kind of getting to me a little bit more. It feels a little bit like more hair rippy out. And I don't know necessarily what it is about that. Maybe it's just the sheer amount of Souls that I've been playing. But there is like just so much world design in that game.
I can sort of explain.
Yeah.
I can sort of explain.
Give me your perspective, Scott.
Dark Souls 2 had a lot more fuck yous in it.
It has so many in there.
And like to me, I always thought it was funny because in Dark Souls 2, it's once you understand how to get past an area, it's generally not a big issue to do that.
Yeah.
At the very least in the style that I play in. I don't know about using one of the ranged or the magic styles. I imagine having to manage that makes it a lot more stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where and you can kind of see it coming. And when its novelty sort of wears out, it's not something that's a straight positive for the game.
Yeah.
Like the trap chests everywhere.
Yeah.
The boulder coming through a side of a wall.
Yeah.
That can absolutely kill you.
These are all things I've specifically dealt with recently. So yeah.
And then it's the other in some areas it's the position of a few enemies requires you to drop down on one before the fight's reasonable.
Yeah, or else
And
you'll
it's
just get overwhelmed.
you don't know that until you're getting overwhelmed, and then you understand, hey, this is a Dark Souls game. Generally, there's a second way to deal with it. Go
Yeah,
find it.
yeah. And like I talked about it, I think last week, of like one of the earlier areas of Dark Souls 2 teaches you to kind of like be a little bit more methodical as you go through, and it's just like is such a recurring challenge in that game. Is like, hey, if you're gonna run through this area, you are going to get overwhelmed. You need to like take your time, take out one enemy at a time, stuff like that.
And it's also it's even then it's less of it being, oh hey, we're trying to be the Dark Souls level of unfair. It's, we don't want you sprinting through this area and skipping everything.
Yeah, and they position enemies in a way that like leads you towards secrets and like leads you towards exploration, which I appreciate. I feel like Dark Souls 1 wasn't good about that. Yeah, I don't know. The biggest like fuck you moment of the game for me this week was Justin and I were like, I was telling Justin like, hey, I don't know what the fuck is the difference between mimics and chests in this game, so we're just gonna have to stare at them thoroughly. And then we found the first mimic in the game, and we were sure we had figured it out. Right, this chest has like a little latch over the lock, and none of the other chests did. It was like, cool. This is how mimics look different. It's the chain all over again. Chain lays straight. You fucking hit that chest. Chain goes in a hoop. It's safe. And then later on, we found a chest with a fucking lock on it, and it wasn't a mimic. And now everything I've ever known is a lie, and I don't know what or who to believe anymore. And that's like, oh yeah.
I'm just telling you, like the best thing you can do there is like, this is Dark Souls. This isn't Sekiro. This isn't. That once you die, getting back to that point, and once you know it's a mimic, you pick up your blood stain, you just keep moving.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. Just keep moving.
It's just like open the chest. If it's a mimic, it's a mimic.
Yeah,
they're not so common as to not do that.
Yeah, I agree. And I was telling Justin how the first chest that you find in Dark Souls 3 is a mimic, just because they were like, fuck it, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Scott White, who's in our live chat right now, says, you can just smack chests, and if they're mimic, they'll take damage, right? Yes, we know. It's just like, it's good to have. In Dark Souls 2, they made it so if you hit a wooden chest 3 times, it breaks, ruining whatever's in it, which is awful. But so like you can hit a chest too much. So we've just like committed to, all right, we hit all chests one time and we move on. So it was just like a moment of like, man, we really thought we figured this out, and we just didn't. And for no,
so you didn't end up breaking it?
In Justin's world, we did break it, and I was so pissed. I was like, oh, we should have stopped. We should have known, but. In my world, we ended up getting it. It was just like a consumable. It wasn't anything important, at least.
Okay.
But Dark Souls 2 is great. I really like the areas in that game. There's so many areas, right? You go to so many different places. I think generally all of them are smaller than they were in Dark Souls 1, but you also feel like you're kind of progressing at more of a clip because of that. And Justin was telling me like, hey man, like I feel like we're blowing through this game. I feel like it's going to be over by next week. I'm like, no, dude. We're not like we are not even halfway through. Like you have to go do these 4 things.
Yeah, it's Dark Souls 2 is a meaty one.
No, it's meaty as hell. And plus, like I've never played any of the 3 DLCs for that game, so it's like just 3 more areas that we're gonna have to go do something in, and I don't even know what that's gonna be. So I don't know how long those areas are. I won't be as equipped. Like I won't necessarily know what's happening. So yeah, but the Artorias of the Abyss ended up being some of the most fun we had with Dark Souls 1, so I'm looking forward to the Dark Souls 2 DLC. I feel like I've heard good things about all Dark Souls DLC, but nothing specifically comes to mind for those 3. But yeah, Dark Souls 2 is fun. And I picked up Fire Emblem again this week. It was more of like okay, let's try, like let's just try and get into it. One of my coworkers has been like playing it nonstop, and she gave me some good advice as far as like what to do and like how to like when the game is gonna kind of really hit the ground running, which is good to know. I feel like I'm still kind of getting my feet wet, and I feel like it hasn't hooked me, but it's like this is the point where it will have probably hooked you. It's like, okay, it's good to know. Chapter 5, got it. And then like when shit hits the fan and when the kind of time skip happens, like, okay, I will prepare accordingly. I like knowing that kind of stuff with Fire Emblem because there is a lot of long-term planning that you should do in those games. So but yeah, I played just a bit. I did a little bit more of the communal tasks, and then hung out. And I didn't get to go on any tea time dates, but the best part I think about Fire Emblem for me is like, I don't know, I'm not necessarily into this iteration of Fire Emblem, but it's still really, really nice for me to see all these people that I know have never played a Fire Emblem game playing it. Like Jarrett is getting really into it, and he like sent out this incredible tweet the other day of like, well, I had tea time with this person, so we're getting married soon. And I was like, excellent. Jarrett is now a weeb, confirmed. But yeah, I'm hoping Fire Emblem will hook me soon. We'll see. I'll just keep checking in on it here and there until maybe something happens. And I played a lot more Graveyard Keeper, which I talked about a lot last week. I think the biggest things I was having trouble with last week was like, I don't know how to make money. I found some ways to make money. Doing a little bit better with that, and I think I've entered like the kind of turning point, like very much like the second half of the game where I'm kind of getting more and more resources on a weekly basis, like by a pretty significant margin now. So I feel like I've hit a good stride with that, and now I'm just like experimenting with the tech trees and whatnot. That was a Game Pass game. I actually ended up buying it because I loved it so much. And there's like a DLC that they put out for it. It's like a $5 DLC that adds zombie workers. And you know, as a graveyard keeper, you get these corpses throughout the week, and you can create a rare item called like zombie fluid, zombie juice or whatever, and you can inject that into a corpse to turn it into like a zombie worker. No union for the zombie workers, I will say. They just kind of just work forever, and that's a little bit of a bummer, but they are zombies also. And it's cool because you can essentially automate collecting your major resources, which is like iron, ore, stone, marble, and wood, right? Those are your core resources that you would need to make just about anything, and they'll gather it for you, right? And you can, what I like is you can kind of you'll go to like a table or a thing to like craft or cut down resources or convert them into like, take these wood logs and convert them into like 4 planks or whatever. You can like throw a zombie at a table and they'll just hit there, and you can queue up a bunch of tasks for them to do, and they'll just do that over time. And those things will just offload directly into the closest chest. So they'll go right into storage. That's cool. I like, once I ended up getting into that and like bought the DLC and messed around with having those guys around, like zombie workers around. It's really cool. I think it's a really awesome implementation for this game that kind of walks the line between a Stardew Valley and a Civilization, right? With like a big tech tree, and the way that they make it feel a little bit more like a Civ or a 4X type game is actually really, really rad. And it's just nice to not like spend a whole day like just gathering resources, and it's like, man, I've put like 50 hours into this game. I feel like I shouldn't be needing these resources, or I shouldn't have to commit full hours and hours of in-game time to gathering these. And they like had this very good, very clever solution for it. I think it's really rad implementation. That's it. That's all I've been playing, man. That's video games. Here we are 50 minutes into this podcast and we're done. I was trying to think if folks in chat wanted to ask questions, maybe. So we didn't get any Twitter questions. I forgot to send a tweet until a little bit later today. That's my bad. But
one question for me: did we cover Gamescom last week?
oh no, we didn't. Fuck, man, I
So we
totally forgot
could.
about Gamescom. I legit
We
because
got some news to go through.
we do have some news. Let me get this goddamn music ready. Yeah, because it was one of those things where like Easy Allies did a weird podcast, and that's where I get my news every week. I don't know if it's like that for you, Nabishin. But I didn't realize that they were sending Bossman to Germany, which is just great.
No,
he was there
working
for
with
Keeley, right? Yeah,
Yes.
that's great. But I didn't realize. So like my main news point of reference of the week is just gone. But yeah, stuff happened in at Gamescom. Let's play some news music. News in gaming.
Is it just me, or was that slightly slower than usual?
I think it was just you.
Maybe. Okay.
I don't know, man. I'm doubting myself, but I gotta stand firm on something. So Gamescom happened. I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like there weren't like big announcements at Gamescom. I feel like not a lot of stuff got announced. We just kind of got updates on some things. But there were some cool indie stuff that was announced. Let me see if I can find like a good summary article. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was like a big release date that came out. But I can't think of it off the top of my head. Jeff Keighley did he called it Gamescom Live, right? Which was very much like hey, this is a 2-hour show, a la the Game Awards, right? It is a Jeff Keighley event, but it was more of just like a press conference, right? It was like, hey, announcements. Hey, we want to talk about this. Hey, we want to show off this. But Jeff was on stage, and like he brought developers on stage. Jeff Keighley's in Death Stranding, which they revealed, which is just a great weird thing. But they showed Death Stranding gameplay, like kind of uncut gameplay for the first time. Because there's been that gameplay trailer that came out earlier this year. And that we kind of saw a little bit of what that game looks like. Namishin, can I get an interest check for Death Stranding?
Death Stranding?
Yes. Are you in or are you not?
It's a weird time to be asking me this.
I know. I know you're in a little bit of a rut now, so, but just generally.
I mean, because honestly, it's just gonna be something I buy, and that's pretty much the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Will I play for like an hour and just be done with it? Maybe. Will I play for more than that? Maybe. Like I'm as mysterious as that game itself, I guess you would say, as far as like my interest in it.
Mysterious as that game itself. I like that. Nabishin is the Death Stranding of podcast hosts. Finally, something we can get behind instead of calling everything the Dark Souls of video games. The Dark Souls of whatever. That's fair. I don't know. I like. Part of me is like frustrated with how down some people are on Death Stranding, right? And part of me is like, people are allowed to be down on things. I really want to believe in that game. I think I'm gonna play it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I'll be honest, but I'm certainly gonna give it a shot. But I don't know. Is there any interest for you in Death Stranding, Scott, in Hideo Kojima weirdness?
Not a huge one.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
But it's one of those things where that game's not exactly the type of game I generally play. Yeah. But it's enough to keep an eye on it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be one of those ones where I feel like by the time it comes out, we're gonna know if it's gonna be part of the Game of the Year conversation or whatever. But we'll see.
Oh, it's gonna be regardless.
I think so. I'm with you. I just like I know when you say that, like the people that are like, I don't know why anyone's excited for this game get really frustrated, and I'm trying not to make them frustrated, But I'm.
I mean, no, it's 100%. It's 100% going to be a Last Guardian Red Dead Redemption 2 situation where it's like people are going to play the game, people are going to love the fuck out of the game, and then some people are going to be like, I don't understand why you even like it. What do you even do in this game?
Yes,
it's stuff like that. It's
totally that.
And that's the thing about opinions. It's just how it's going to be.
It's just how it's going to roll out,
Especially with big AAA stuff, when they're doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
And like Last Guardian hit with me, Red Dead Redemption hit with me, but it didn't with a lot of people. And I understand why it didn't hit with them, but like that didn't impact me as far as like the way I love those games.
Yeah.
Like, and like even like Metal Gear Solid 5, you could say that.
Yeah.
That's like that was a game that I love. I still love.
But you have problems with.
Yeah, like 50% of that game I really enjoy.
Yeah.
The other 50% I don't like, mostly contain the story. But like but that's just me.
Yeah. And I think like to that point too, like I end up really liking the story. Like weirdly enough, like the kind of the lack of story worked for me. In a big way. And we're both, I would say, big Metal Gear fans. And I think we like a lot of the same things about that franchise. So things can hit with people differently. I'm like, part of me is dreading it, right? Because like, it's always that I don't know where I'm gonna fall on the spectrum, on the Death Stranding spectrum. I'm really hoping that I love it, like all things. Like I hope I love everything, but I just don't know. There's so many unknowns with that game, and that's the kind of thing that I feel like there could be a very large aspect of that game that we just don't know about, and Kojima specifically does not want us to know about until we play it. And that's really frustrating for some people, but
I mean, like in your case, Alex, very specifically in your case, and probably this goes for you too, Nabishin. I think the worst case scenario for this game is that it is the next level Deadly Premonition.
Is the worst case scenario or best case scenario?
Worst case scenario for everybody else but you two.
Yeah, that's fair. And Jim Sterling, wherever he is. Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, like to me, this has you two written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to be surprised if you don't like it in some shape or form.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's a bet, Alex O'Neill.
Hell yeah, let's do it, baby. Back in it. What you got?
How many of the giant bombs have?
Oh,
will it be more? Will it be more or less than 3?
I was gonna say, is it 50-50? Like, on their Game of the Year lists. How many people work at Giant Bomb now? I'm losing track. They got like 9 now, right? 10, maybe.
Maybe like 8 or 9.
8 or 9. Okay. How many people? 3 or more?
3 or more.
3 or more. Yes or no? Dan for sure. Even if Dan hates it, he'll put it on his goddamn list. So, that's tough. For me, it like comes down to will Jeff and Brad like it? I think it's going to be the determining factor. I'm going to say, I'll take the unexpected route. I'm going to say less than 3 will have it on their list.
I'll count 3 as that as well. That's the case.
Okay, 3 or less. Okay, so 4 or more you'll take. That's tough. Do you want to take those odds?
I mean, I don't think it'd be. I don't think it'd be bad at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say less as well.
Honestly. Okay. Damn. Yeah. Then I guess there is no bet, Nabishin. We just agree on a thing.
Sure.
You know what? I'll take the high odds. I will say 4 or more. I'll keep it interesting. You got to think of the terms though.
Yeah.
If I have to play a video game that I haven't played, I would just request that we do it in 2020. Whenever the timer starts in January, just because I'm so busy this year.
No, that's fucking. That's like the loser, the quote unquote loser, has to replay Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't know. You have to make time for that game again.
Oh fuck, that's good. Yeah, you know what? I'll do that just for the chance that maybe you could replay that game and like it more. So I'll do it. I take
with
that
Ground
bet. I'm not playing that
Yeah,
fucking
of course.
Kojima saving mission. Some other stuff. Stadia had a conference as well. We're jumping around a little bit here, but general Gamescom news. They confirmed Cyberpunk's coming to Stadia, which is cool. But I feel like I didn't watch the Stadia one. That's the only one I didn't watch. But I feel like just not a lot happened there. And there weren't a lot of major takeaways. Not a lot of release dates or anything. Samurai Showdown's coming to it. Mortal Kombat 11's coming to it. Doom Eternal has a new trailer from it. But yeah, Cyberpunk is why I'm getting this Stadia, because I just want to know. I want to be able to play that game at kind of optimal settings, right?
The Huber approach.
The Huber approach, very much so. And like, if there's one thing I want to try out on that, it'll be that or Destiny probably. But the like Destiny 2 Stadia players not being able to play with PC players is like such a fucking bummer. But again, either way, like again, a optimal version of that game, like a 60 FPS 4K version is rad, even if it isn't actually going to play out that well. So the Xbox had their Inside Xbox, which this was one of the biggest ones that they've done. Like, it was much more of a show, although like they've done a show style one before. And they talked about what's their November event is like Xbox or something like that. They have like another one that they said is going to be even bigger in November, an Inside Xbox event. So some of the stuff they talked about here, new Xbox controllers, Game Pass is getting new games, including Devil May Cry 5, which is awesome. I have that downloaded to my Xbox now, and I'll actually play it this time.
Yay.
PUBG.
I won't be alone talking about it.
I know, yeah. I'm honestly excited to play it. So,
It's very good.
Yeah, I should play
Very
it too.
easy.
yeah. I don't know if it's on PC Game Pass, but if it is, it's worth that $10 probably. PUBG is adding crossplay for PS4 and Xbox One, which is cool, and you will also be able to play PC as well. You can opt into that, which makes this the third game with crossplay. It's the second live game with crossplay, but it's Fortnite and PUBG now. But Call of Duty will also have crossplay. Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Rocket League has crossplay, right?
What has crossplay? What you say? Oh, Rocket League.
Rocket League?
Yeah, you're right. So it is the fourth game. Gears 5 Horde mode. They showed Horde mode for the first time. There is like, I don't know when Horde mode lost me, but I think it was Gears of War 3. Like as soon as they introduced like the fences and stuff, I don't know. But we'll see. I want to believe Gears 5 is gonna be great.
I thought the Horde mode in 3 was like the best ever one. People talked about this shit for days.
People
loved that Horde mode.
did. I don't get me wrong. I loved the Horde mode in Gears 2 because there was like, it was just survive. There was no like mechanics to it. There weren't like things that you're building or whatnot. And now like Horde mode, I feel like there's just a lot going. You get parts, and then you can like kind of in Counter-Strike style, you can go to this thing. It's a fabricator. It'll make weapons for you, and you can upgrade weapons, and then you can buy ammo and buy obstructions and obstacles and stuff. And it's like, I think that stuff is cool, and obviously tower defense stuff has always been cool, but I don't know, like the very pure just survive Gears Horde mode I was into. The thing that that clicked with me in Gears 3 specifically is Beast mode. Do you remember this, Nabishan?
Right.
Where you could play as it was inverted Horde mode, where you played as just endless locusts trying to kill the humans. And it was not PvP. It was just like you played a group of 5 different locusts. That was awesome because you could play as a ticker, just run up, fuck, blow people up. So great. And the way they reconciled that is like, depending on how well you did, you would get points, and then you could spawn as a bigger, badder locust. So like if you got a bunch of kills, you could come in as like the dude with the big minigun and just mow down people. It was awesome. Beast mode was great. I don't know if that came back ever. It's definitely not in Gears 4, and they haven't talked about it in Gears 5. So maybe they'll bring it back for Gears 6. Maybe it's only the third one. They can only do it in the third one. I don't know.
Are you are you in the mindset that like, just in your opinion, do you feel like they're kind of doing a bad job selling Gears 5 right now?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Dude, I don't know.
Because like ever since the first reveal was actually good as far as like showing like story stuff, they haven't really shown much of that story whatsoever. And like I can understand if you want to keep it secret, but it's like I don't know, man. It's like what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just tough, man. Because again, it's a similar thing to Death Stranding. Because it feels like there is like a very early in the game thing that's going to happen that is gonna rock the boat in a major way, and they have to kind of talk around that when they share the story of that game. And the idea of that's exciting, but I it's one of those things where I'm just worried I'm getting hoodwinked.
Yeah, because like it's like I was thinking about this, like, and I had to literally legitimately ask myself this: like, does Gears of War 5 have a single player co-op, or it does have co-op in the main story? I had to think about that, and then of course it does because it's Gears, but it's like
it's got the 3-player co-op now because you can
exactly. Like it was something was like, man, like is that even a thing? Like I don't know. It was just like something that like threw me for a loop for a second.
Yeah,
with that game, and like I don't know, man. Like I think it's kind of like an identity thing. Unfortunately, with Gears, it's like this is my mind thinking about it or whatever, because I could be wrong. Whatever. This is just an opinion I'm thinking of. But it's like after like where Zelda kind of revented itself and God of War kind of revented itself, and like Gears is like something at that pedestal, but like
still Gears.
Yeah, and like it appears that way too. It's like it's more Gears, even though like they're having KP like the base of the game, and like they got rid of the of war. So I don't know. Like I think they're trying to do as much as they can to like change the formula while sticking to the formula. So like it's like a weird thing they're trying to do right now, and I think like because like I think what I'm feeling and what I'm hoping is like as far as like at least the main campaign, because that's the thing I'll be playing. It's like why they're like pushing like the online stuff so much is like they just want to show off that to say, hey, this is the stuff that's more or less remaining the same. Sure, we improved it, but like it's more or less staying the same. And like when you actually play the campaign, it's actually like radically different. Because like I said, like it didn't really appear like co-op was part of the main campaign. Obviously it is because it's Gears, but like it just didn't seem like it did. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. Like what you said about identities, like that resonates with me so much because like say what you will about modern God of War, which I don't have a lot of nice things to say about it, but like it is such a powerful reimagining or continuation of that story with such a strong new identity, right? Like the next God of War, I know what I'm getting and I know the kinds of things I would want them to change and evolve. But like the biggest thing from Gears 4 is like I don't know what I want them to do to make Gears 5 more interesting, right? Because it just feels like the sixth one of those games, which it is.
Yeah.
And that's just tough. Like God of War feels like you could jump into God of War, right? 2018 God of War. And I feel like you still can't do that with Gears. They tried really hard with 4, but and I like the new characters, like the trio, right? Like the kind of goofiness of it. I was into. JD was a little bit too Nathan Drake, which is I'm very excited about them moving to Kate as like the main character. But it's just like it just feels like I've seen this through to the natural conclusion of what it could be potentially, right? Like it's lived it to its potential, and Gears 3 I thought was great. Like I didn't love it as much as 2, but I think it's a great game, and I think it was a great way to end it. And now it's just feels like at the end of the day we're doing more of that, and the slight changes they made to how Gears 4 played of like making it a little bit faster, making the roadie run faster, being able to grab people over cover and jump over cover and knock people back, like very subtle changes, like just wasn't enough. Like they showed that the first gameplay clip that they showed from that announcement trailer of Gears 5 where you're like swinging the mace around, it was like maybe they'll actually make this game play different, and it just doesn't look like it. It just looks like it's another Gears of War game. And I don't know if that's enough, and they're not selling it as anything more. It's like, they keep coming back to it's like Gears of War is back. It's like, cool, I guess, And I'm not trying to be down on it. Like, I really want to be excited for Gears
Well,
5, but I'm just not.
The whole problem with it just being Gears again is Gears 3 is where it sort of came to its natural conclusion.
Yep.
Mhm.
So when they did 4, it's the only thing that you can do at that point is to change its identity, and
They just didn't, you know?
they did that. They did the thing where it's okay, we don't know if people are going to take well to a change of identity, so we're
Yeah.
just not going to do it.
Yeah.
But it was over. It's not an uncalled for reboot. It's not. It's the continuation of the story is kind of. I don't play Gears.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. It's I think also like the narrative thread of Gears 4 is like just a little hard to swallow. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this lady is like the daughter of the queen of the locusts and they want her again, right? I think that's what it's about. And it's like the locusts are being reborn as the hive, right?
Yes.
And it's like, all right, I'm just then like you get into like once you get to like that turning point where you're like in the hive nest in Gears 4, it's like, guess I'm fighting these dudes again, you know, like and it's fine because it's fun and it's satisfying, but like the reason I didn't finish the Gears 4 campaign was because it was like just more of the same. And it's funny because like the part where like the really cool shit happens at the very end of the game,
You stopped.
I stopped just before then. And it's like, well, if you had just switched it up a little bit sooner, I would have been in. I swear I would have been in. And they didn't. So, I don't know. Like, I'm going to play Gears 5. I'm going to go into it with as open a mind as I can. And I'm going to try and finish the Gears 4 campaign or replay it real quick on maybe just on easy mode or something before it comes out. And Scott White, Mike, and I were saying, like, hey, let's, we'll get together. We'll play Gears 3, like, Gears 5 through as, like, a trilogy as folks, and that's going to be fun. But I don't know. I wish I was more excited about it, That game comes out in, like, 2 weeks. like, 3 weeks just under, but, like, that's crazy that I'm just barely even thinking about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's such a moot point, too, in a way, because it's a Game Pass game, and like it's obviously gonna be like huge. It's gonna be huge as far as like people playing and stuff like that. But like I kind of fear it's gonna be like not as far as like how it was received, but like kind of like Crackdown 3 was. It's like it came out and then it's like people just completely forgot about it.
Flash in the pan, man.
Yeah, and it's like I'm trying to put in the word, but like I feel like. No, I can't even really think about it really.
Well,
but
I mean, from what I understand, Crackdown games were never that good.
Yes, that's fair, but like,
and it's one of those games where like they're not necessarily the worst games in the world.
No, but like Crackdown 3 was like in development for so long. You would want there to be like a longer tail to it, like rather than it came out, it's not good, move on. Like you always want, like, even, look at something like No Man's Sky, a game that we talked about as recently as last week, came out and was bad. But we talked about it and like we wanted to have conversations about it, and now we can talk about it again and it being exciting. Gears 5 is just never going to be that because in 3 years or 2 years or whatever, like there's going to be Gears 6 and it'll be the end of the trilogy and we'll have forgotten about Gears 5 or whatever, I don't know. I'm with you, Nabishin. And it's hard to put into words like why it isn't working, I think, too. Like I don't know what they're doing wrong necessarily. Maybe not talking about the story or whatever. But I just feel like I don't have a reason to be excited about it.
Because it kind of bugs me in a way. Cause I'm just thinking about this now, and we're talking about this too long, but I'll try to end it with this. But like it's kind of like Gears has kind of been like a Call of Duty situation where it's like it's a good game, it's a polished game, it has all the bells and whistles, but it's like it's not something you just think about as first game of the year, which is like a crazy thing to say, in a way, because like you get so much bang for your buck, and it's like why wouldn't you like this game? And it's like, and of course, like since it's a Game Pass game, like the masses are going to get it, and like it's going to get like the word of mouth is going to be amazing for the next game. So like it's going to be great, it's going to do great. But like as far as like reviews, like it might get like around an 8, maybe. I'm at least that's the general vibe I'm getting for it right now.
Yeah.
So it might be better than that. So I hope it is.
Me too. Nintendo had a indie showcase right at the top of Gamescom. And the biggest kind of announcement from that was that Ori and the Blind Forest is coming to the Nintendo Switch September 26th, I believe, which is right around the corner. It's probably the second best Metroidvania ever made, and the other best Metroidvanias on the Switch already. So, like, if you like those kinds of games, Ori is an absolute no-brainer. I love it so much. I was so stoked. So many people tweeted at me because I was at work at the time. They were like, "Ori on Switch," and they just tweeted at me. I was like, "Oh, so many people think of me when they saw this." So that's very sweet. Thank you to everybody that messaged me about it. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. If you haven't played it already, they said it's gonna run 60 frames per second, 1080p docked on Switch. So hopefully, much like Cuphead, it is not going to be like a compromised version of the game. It's just going to be the game, and you'll be able to enjoy it in all of its beautiful glory. One might call that like one of the best looking games of the year it came out, but I don't know. That's a deep cut for listeners at home. Hotline Miami Collection is coming to Switch, which I guess is like a new game technically, but it's 1 and 2 on Switch. Super Hot is coming to Switch. Which is great. Still haven't played Super Hot, but maybe on Switch I will. And there were a couple of announcements. The Tourist was one, which looks really crazy. Like, I think I heard that the Tourist was announced beforehand, but it's like this dungeon crawler that looks just nuts. It looks like you're doing like 20,000 different kinds of things in it. And that's like coming out this November, right? A lot of things like very, very soon, very close on the horizon. And then Skater XL was like a skating game that was announced for Switch that looked weird. Kind of got Tony Hawk Pro Skater vibes. And I think that's it. There was a couple of like Kerbal Space Program 2 was announced, Little Nightmares 2 was announced. Those were both at the Gamescom opening night live. Those are cool. Like, I'm not necessarily appealed to the folks on this show, but I'm definitely into it. They showed gameplay for the Predator game that Sony announced back in May during their May like Sony Direct, whatever they call it. And they showed off a couple other things. Disintegration they showed for the first time in a while, which is like a cool team-based multiplayer game. Kind of looks like Destiny. But those were the big announcements. Kerbal Space Program 2 is rad. It looks like there's going to be like some level of colonization. So like you're going to build a ship and hopefully your dudes won't die. Then you're going to launch a ship and hopefully your dudes don't die. Then you're going to fly through space. Hopefully no one dies. And then you're going to land somewhere, again, hopefully without death, and colonize it. So that's pretty cool. That seems like a great escalation.
Well, so this is going to be, you're going to launch a ship and hopefully you big brained it so they don't die.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm very excited because it seems like, knowing Kerbal and how like realistic they try and be with it, like you'll have to bring supplies or you'll have to like carry like a big thing on with your ship or tied to your ship, and that's how the stuff that you will need to colonize a place, and then there will be just tons of ways to fuck that up. And then you'll go online on YouTube and watch an hour-long video of some person who just perfectly nails it and lands the ship and colonizes the moon, and it's incredible. So that's it for news. Unless I miss anything. I think I covered all the big stuff. Let's get out of here. Let's finish this podcast. If you would like to be a part of the show, which you can do so in a variety of ways, you can tweet us a question at IrrationalPod. Just use the hashtag IPQ. You can look for my tweet on Saturdays too. I solicit questions on Twitter. You can leave us an email, mailsack at irrationalpassion.com, or a voicemail, 404-590-1337. Just keep in mind, standard long distance fees do apply. If you like the show, you can follow it on Twitter at IrrationalPod, Instagram, Irrational Passions. You can rate and review us on Stitcher or iTunes or Google Play. I guess it's no longer iTunes is no longer going to be a thing soon. It's going to be Apple Podcasts. So trying to rebrand the things on the Google, the links on the stuff. And we're also on Spotify. If you like listening to podcasts on Spotify, check out our other shows like Input, which is up every Friday about news. Video Game Book Club, which is every other Friday. We're playing through Vanquish next, which is very exciting. Call of Duty in Review every Friday leading into November 1st. Next game on the docket is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is going to be a heavy episode, just fair warning. And we're going to get into some serious conversations, but they're good conversations. And for everything else, Irrational Passions, irrationalpassions.com. That's it. That's the show. Let's make some bets. Maybe I'll text Tony and see what he wants for this bet too. This week's bet. In the launch trailer for the video game Blair Witch, which comes out on August 30th, how many shadowy figures will there be?
Wait, what?
How many shadowy figures will be in the launch trailer for the video game Blair Witch? I'm going to say at least 4.
I'm trying to put in my mind's eye, like
I'm talking about like a silhouette of a person, right? Or like eyes on a person that you see in the background, or a figure where we don't see the face. Like shadowy figure just means like an obscured person mostly. Because like
yeah, but it's like not so that you can't see the face, whereas they're turned around from the camera.
Mm-hmm. Or like fully cloaked in shadow and you just see the silhouette. I would accept that as well. I'm going to say
1.
4. Oh, 1. Ooh. The Blair Witch herself.
I'm going with 6.
Fuck yeah, Scott. Go big or go home. I feel like if I asked Tony, he would say 6 too. I just want you to know that, Scott. I don't know why I think that, but I do. Last week's bet. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is gonna be a fun one.
I vote for 7.
Are you changing to 7 or yeah, that's right. Okay, that's fine.
For this bet, it's 7. Whatever it is, it's 7.
All right, well, I'll read the bet to you now. When I search for rad video game on Twitter, how many words will be in the top results tweet?
Oh, I lost.
I don't know, you're not too far off from us. I said 20 words. Scott, you said 7 words. Tony said 12 words. Nabishin said 23 words. I didn't realize you Price is Right at me. No, that's not true. I said mine after yours. And Quinn said 69 words, which is pretty funny. Let's see. Rad video game. Top. No, we want not laser top. This is from. Oh, this is not about Rad, but that's not necessarily what it pertained to. This is from Ram at Ram. I guess I don't necessarily want to put their whole thing on blast. It's from a person on Twitter, and the tweet is very quite video game. Which means you totally got it, Scott. Which is absolutely the way that
came in. I didn't know that.
Absolutely the way that this should have played out. Betting is a science. Just never forget that. Which means team doubling down 22 points. It's pretty good. Team about to bust a bet 25 points. Still pretty good. That's it. That's the show. Editor's team is still not looking great, so we're just not going to... They have 3 points right now, but again, they could catch up with just a couple of wins. Maybe I should get for episodes that they don't have representation, I'll just get an average answer from Slack and factor that in. That's the show. Thanks everybody for listening. Nice recorded early, came in early, not a lot of video games to talk about. Again, we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about, I think, next week, but it's the end of the summer. It's about to be September, which is kind of crazy. I guess the next week it'll be the 31st. So.
Well, I mean, you could do that,
Mm-hmm.
or their next bet could be worth 10 points.
Okay, just give them more and more possibility to catch up. I just trying to give them.
It's not every time, but it's that's how we did it before. When they missed, it would just roll up.
Yeah, it's true. They're
And
accruing.
They're still working off of those missed. What is it? Packs.
Yeah, like the pre-PAX weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So true. We'll see. I believe in them. I feel like they could catch up if they got it a couple of times. I need them.
They just don't do
focus.
bets as often.
Yeah, they're not as good at it yet. Thank you to everyone who's hanging out in the live chat, chatting along, being a bunch of sweethearts. We love you all very much. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for opening music of two-player co-op and our closing music of The World is Saved. Thank you, Scott Nobishin, for joining me, as always. I hope, Tony, wherever you are, you feel better, get some rest, and just relax. But until then, I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games, stay rational. We will talk to you all next week. Titles? Title? The title is The Third Tony. Which is actually pretty good. I'm very I'm surprised that we didn't get too weird this episode, I guess. We're allowed to be placid, I think.
Well, I think I went there right off the bat, and you were like, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Maybe we shouldn't be weird. I'm good with that title. Unless there was anything else you thought of, Namishin. Nothing came to your heart.
No.
It's all right. Hey, we finished before 7:30. That's all I'm saying.
It's real good.
It's real good. You have a night to yourself
probably.
now, Namishin. You can't complain anymore. I'm just kidding. Who wants to say? I'll say the episode number. Who wants to say the title?
Scott's joke.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Cool. You're listening to the Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 437.
The third Tony.
I want people at home to know that I didn't know what episode number it was, so I had to, I quickly looked at the Google Doc to see what was at the title. It's 437. We found it. You guys can stop recording now. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Have a lovely evening, and I don't know. Be nice.